Rachel Jackson, entertainment strategist, mostly known for Day Weekend in the city on behalf of Christopher Ludacris Bridges, Commission Week on behalf of DJ Holiday. Always in the background, but my presence is felt in the foreground, well connected, well respected in Atlanta, Georgia. Before you create a sponsorship deck, you have to make sure that you have a thorough conversation with the company, brand, or entity that you're looking to garner money from. If you don't know their goals, you don't know what moves their ROI, that's their return on investment, it won't make sense, and you don't want to waste your time. So make sure you start with a great conversation, you understand their goals, what makes sense for them, and then get their dollars. Once you've reached the place where you're ready to compile your sponsorship deck, make sure you include photos. Photos are an excellent way to recap what you've done, what it looks like, and to also graphically express what you've done in the past and why you're able to execute what they're looking for. After you've reached that point, you go back to that initial conversation that we spoke on, and you speak directly to their interest and to their interest only. You speak to the demographics that they're looking for. You speak to the budget that they said that they had to give you. You speak to all those things that were included in that initial conversation. After that, you got to break down the numbers. What have you done in the past that returned ROI before for other clients? What do similar activations such as this or similar partnerships such as this look like with other clients? Specifically, as far as your event is concerned, you have to open up with an overview. What time is the event? Who's coming to the event? What successes have you had in the past? Location. All of that information is very, very pertinent and important. Once you move to sponsorship levels, do not price yourself out of the game. Don't just throw out 10K, 20K, 15K just because the numbers sound good to you. Make sure that you also offer an option for category exclusivity. That is something that brands and companies will pay for, but it has to make sense for them. So you have to make sure that you include creative items under each pricing bracket that match exactly what type of work you're putting into it and what return on investment you're able to garner for them. You have to make their dollars make sense. Aesthetically speaking, you have to make sure that your design is clean and that it translates everything that you're looking to offer. If you yourself cannot provide a clean, concise, general package or a complete package, invest in it, for sure. Partnership proposals for philanthropic events should be as concise as possible. Don't overwhelm your local Subway or Kroger with 15 pages talking about, hey, I want this or that. You have to make sure that you concisely lay out exactly who you are, what you're doing, who what you're doing benefits, and how it helps their business reach their primary goals for community involvement. Currently, we reside in a digital age where content is king. You have to make sure you're very, very creative with your recaps. You have to record everything, throw it up on social media, and make sure that those numbers are going, because in turn, that will translate to money for your project. We all know, and it is more than obvious, that moving around and navigating Atlanta, networking and meeting people can be so awkward at times, but you have to make sure that you're confident. Be cool, take a deep breath. Don't approach anyone like this or just kind of stand around and wait for them to be done talking to someone else before you approach. You have to be strategic. And once you've calmed down, make sure you make your way over there, introduce yourself. State who you are, what you engage in, and why you're speaking to them. So for example, hi, I'm Rachel Jackson. I'm responsible for Day Weekend, and we would love to engage your product for X, Y, Z. Because at that point, I've piqued their interest, they know what I'm responsible for, and even if they're not familiar with my project, they'll ask me about it, and that is a conversation starter. So once you practice that, because sometimes, everybody just ain't got it. You can't just pop out and talk to someone. But practice that approach, master it, and use it, and you will be successful. Then it'll be time to gear up for that follow-up email. Emailing entities out of the blue with no point of reference is no one's favorite thing to do. It's always more comfortable when you can CC someone so they'll see that person that they know and then jump on your email. But oftentimes that's not how it works. So you have to make sure that when you send an email, your subject line is concise. It includes the name and date of your project or event. And in the opening line, you say, hello, to that person. You have to give some sort of salutation that makes you less robotic, because if someone thinks that you're just hitting them up for money, they're not going to respond. So you have to let them know in the opening or the beginning of the email what your intention is. And after you make that clear, then get into the body of the email. And the body of the email, be very, very, very concise. Don't give someone a whole entire paragraph. They're not going to read it. All the information that you need is attached 9 times out of 10 in that deck that we discussed a little earlier. So just make sure that you keep that email short, sweet, to the point, concise, and thorough. I know that's a lot of words, but I know you can do it. Short, sweet, to the point, concise, thorough. Those are your 5 keys to make sure that you land that business. And attach that deck and take your feelings out of it, because they might not email you back. But make sure that after you send that email, do your due diligence by not hitting them up every week asking if they read it or if they got your email, but strategize. Who else might know this person? Who else has worked with this person? And then that's when you take a different angle to get that email answered. I just gave y'all some little drip. Write it down. Negotiate for your event. Make sure that you are flexible. There are some entities that you may approach that don't have the sponsorship dollars, but they're still willing to believe in what you have going on and venture with you anyway. So make sure you remain flexible, because moments like that will drive the business for next year's opportunity. Treat every partner that's venturing with you as if they spent thousands over what they did. If you have a client or entity that wants to venture with you and they spend $1,000 and you lay them all the way out and they feel like they spent 10, they're gonna spend 10 next year because you did a lot with their 1,000. So just make sure that all of your partners are treated fairly, equally, and that you follow up with them afterwards properly with all that digital content gold that we discussed. When I began navigating my way through Atlanta, I really did not have anyone but my peers. I had no one but my friends. And I think it's so amazing that like-minded people such as ourselves can get together and present to you all, as well as get together and execute. So everybody look to your left and look to your right, look around you, see who's in this room, because that's who you need to network with. You have to network across, not network up, like Issa Rae famously said. You have to build things with the people around you, because if you don't, exactly, just that, nothing. But no, seriously though, your peers and coming to events like this really sets you apart from everybody out here that's just trying to do it. You're doing the right thing by being here. Continue to go to events like this, network across, build something with your peers, and be great. Shouts out to all of you for joining us and Portia Marie for the Dope People Meet Entertainment Marketing Masterclass. Also keep in mind that most people do what is required. Successful people do more. Don't be afraid to outwork your last project. Go the extra mile. If you'd like to network or reach out to me for any advice or any reason in between, please do not hesitate to email me at rachel@therjacksonagency.com. I can also be found on Twitter at It's Me Rachie or Instagram at RachieBaby. Sammye, Scott, Yusuf, and Jhordan, I'm so upset that I'm not there with you all, but I know y'all are holding our tribe down, and I'm so happy to still remotely be a part of this with you. And Sammye approved, girl, moderate down. Love you.